Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing some Christmas crafts that I did over the weekend. It's actually taken me a little bit of time to get the Christmas decorations up this year. I've done it really slowly and gradually, but I did these couple of Christmas crafts. I really enjoyed it and they were completely free. They were things that I already had at home from previous Christmases, or they were things where I'd gone out and gathered foliage for free. So I wanted to share those with you today. So first I went out and I picked some foliage and I found some really beautiful pieces of fir tree, but also some ivy and some holly. I took my wreath form, which I've had for many years. It's really beautiful. It's just made from twisted wicker. And I basically chose the foliage that I wanted and just started focusing on one part of the wreath form, and I just started pushing the pieces of foliage into the twigs. So I started with the pieces of fir tree. Then I built on that by adding the holly and the ivy. Finally, I added some really beautiful frosted berries that I just think look so beautiful to bring that red colour into the wreath. The last thing that I did was I added just a rustic piece of hessian and made a very simple bow. I'm so happy with the way that my wreath turned out. I'm glad that I chose a slightly different style this year, but I think it looks really beautiful on the door. The second craft that I wanted to share with you was my Advent candle. I have done this craft before on my channel where I've put images onto a candle, and I thought I could have a go at doing this with an Advent candle this year. So the first thing that I did was I went onto Canva. This is one of my favourite websites. I love using Canva for all sorts of things like making cards, but also things for YouTube. It's fantastic for that. So I chose a list of numbers that I included in the design, and then some really beautiful little Christmassy images, including a snowflake, a little nativity scene and a beautiful little vintage angel that I thought was lovely. Once I finished my design, I knew that I wanted to print it onto white tissue paper, so I took a piece of card and I cut out a piece of tissue paper to fit, and then I stuck it to the card with some Scotch tape. This was so that it would go through the printer properly, because the printer won't accept such a thin piece of paper, the tissue paper. So I printed my image onto the tissue paper, and then while it was still stuck to the tissue paper, I cut it out to fit the candle. The next step is that I took my hairdryer and gently warmed the surface of the candle. That just makes it a little bit sticky, and I was able then to add my tissue paper. I keep heating it with the hairdryer and just use my fingers to gently rub out any little creases or lines so that it's really smooth on the candle. And then to display it, I just popped some more of the foliage that I'd collected for my wreath and some more of those frosted berries, and I put them all onto a piece of wood that my dad had actually given me, and it was just a slice of log that he'd give. I don't know what tree it's from, but it was really beautiful, and I just popped all the foliage and the candle onto there, and we have been burning the candle since the start of Advent. So those were my couple of easy Christmas crafts that I've really enjoyed doing this weekend. Thank you for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, then please consider subscribing, because I would love to have you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!